So, here we are, Vegas week. That's right, it's Vegas, baby, and I have to tell you, I'm going to have a great time. But we've got a bunch of stories we're going to try to cover for Vegas week. We're even going to try to do it from Vegas. This is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, it works out. We've got, the one I want to lead with today about a film that I mostly enjoyed that had me questioning things. And it turns out there was a reason they wanted us to question things. Let's jump right over. You see, they really did want us to kind of try to figure out what was going on with this Ghostbusters movie. It wasn't your imagination. Things were left vague on purpose. But before we get directly to the story, let's take a look at Punkwaddle down there promoting, well, my favorite store, beachpunk.us. That's right, my merchandise store where you can get all your beach punk needs. In fact, I will have some beach punk gear with me for sale at the Vegas meetup. So make sure you're there. On that note, let's get straight to the story. We've got a lot going on. Ghostbusters star Emily Aylan Lind, I think that's how you say her name, explains why her Frozen Empire character was kept secret. Well, it was kept secret because they knew there would be a little bit of vague controversy, for lack of a better way to say. But I'll take it from this Hollywood Reporter article written by Brian Davids. I'm not sure how much massaging went into this one, but the actor was unaware of her character's true nature. In other words, she wasn't aware she was going to be a ghost, nor what she would be doing actually in the film. So as we get into it, the co-star, McKenna Grace's Phoebe Spangler, was sidelined by the Ghostbusters' longtime bureaucratic nemesis, Walter Peck. The young ghost-busting hero went on an unexpected journey that quickly introduced her to Lynn's surprise character, Melody, the ghost. Melody was nowhere to be found in the marketing of the film. No, she really wasn't. But as soon as she's introduced opposite Phoebe during a park-based chess match, it becomes clear why director Gil Keenan and Sony played their cards so close to the vest. Melody is not only a ghost in the form of a 16-year-old, but also interacts with Phoebe on a very human and relatable level. In other words, she's a far cry from the typical apparitions, yada, 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 yada. Naturally, Lind was also perplexed at first over her Cloak and Dagger casting. I asked the same question. I was a little confused. She's a ghost with a heart. She's a ghost with a full human relationship. So I think there was a part of them that really wanted to catch people off guard in a sense. Well, I think it did. But we need to get into why, and that comes up here in a moment. I met with director Gil Keenan a few times to delve into the character, and he never mentioned that I was playing a ghost, but he was like, I think you'll like it. There's a few surprises there. And I finally read that she's a ghost, and I said, what? There was even a plan to present Melody in a more ghostly way by having her levitate in the air like most of the franchise ghosts, but Keenan and company opted to do away with the idea in order to make Melody as humanly accessible as possible, so she walks around on legs. Upon their introduction, Melody and Phoebe quickly hit off, so much so that it raised question among viewers as to whether the relationship was sparked in a platonic or romantic way. According to Lind, their relationship was never explicitly spelled out in either direction, opting to be open to interpretation. That's right. They wanted to leave it vague so that the people that would see what they were obviously alluding to would see that, and the people who elected to be oblivious to the fact that there was some very spark-driven tension between the two characters would be fine with it. So I like that we didn't define it as one thing or another. Oh, I wonder why. Sometimes when people do that, it ruins it. It's too concrete and absolute. And they're so not absolute as characters. Wait a minute. One other part of character makeup and character definition and all of the other things, characterization, is essentially making up the character and putting it in some concrete footings. If they have shaky morals, that's something that you can write into the character. That's concrete in the character. there are things that you can leave vague or mysterious, but for the most part, when it comes to something like this as part of existence, that's usually a concrete element. So I'm not quite sure she's saying what she really believes or maybe even understands. But oddly enough, Lind has known Grace for many years, given that she's friends with her younger sister Olivia Allen Lind. I don't know how to say those names, but I wonder why there's that middle name there. Anyway, Olivia was like, what the heck? Why didn't I do this one? But she came to the premiere and they hung out, which was cute. Melody accidentally burned herself and her family alive, yada, 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 yada. So here's her character, which is interesting. There were obviously some Q&A here, so I didn't see a lot here, let's say. So, like a lot of people, I was caught off guard when your character first appeared in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire because she wasn't part of the marketing. I literally said to myself, whoa, Snakebite, Andy is in this. Why did they keep you and Melody under wraps? Why the secrecy? And then this is where she breaks it all out. So apparently what we just read was a condensed version of this Q&A with horror. But look, there's a reason that this was written the way it was, and it was so they could get away with making a film without being explicit about the sexuality of these two young girls, and they could yet lean into it when they had to with the right crowd and lean away from it when they had to from the other crowd. They seem to be playing both sides of the fence, and I was right, and I'll take that. Oh boy, I'm not sure that we're going to see another film based on this film's performance. I think Ghostbusters, whatever the next one is basically going to be that animated show we've been talking about, and that's it. I don't think Ghost Corps based on the global box office is going to get their film franchise that they were aiming at, and I think that largely it was because the film Frozen Empire was all over the place with too many characters and not enough for any of them to do. And again, that all comes into the modern filmmaking problem where they try to stuff a bunch of DEI garbage in there and they try to get their ESG money, which is hinging on the DEI garbage that they put in a film. So casting, character portrayal, all of that comes down to filmmaking by committee, and then you end up with something like this. Regardless of what you think of the film, this is definitely an element that they did to the audience on purpose, and it can't be denied now. We've found a couple of different interviews by both of the girls. They both kind of lead you in the direction that they left it alone for a reason. They were told by PR to not answer these questions directly, and boy, have they deftly sidestepped them at this point. But hey, what do you think? Do you think that these characters were written vaguely so people could assume one way or the other, depending upon what they saw in these two young ladies? 2, do you think that this film is actually going to make it possible to do another film in this new reboot quill? Because it would be the third film in the reboot quill, and I just don't see it happening because there's not enough money there. And 3rd, are you looking forward to the animated series that is in the offering here in the very near future? I'm just curious. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. We will try to get a video out every single day of Vegas week, and I hope you join me there. If you are not currently a subscriber, please take the time to turn that little red button down there that says subscribe to gray. I would appreciate it. It would make me feel amazing, and it would get me ever closer to 25K. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.